What if your legs are quietly giving up on you and you don't know it yet? Most people think weak legs are just a natural part of getting older, something you can't avoid after 60. But here's the shocking truth. Leg weakness is not inevitable. It can often be a warning sign that something deeper is going wrong in your body. Ignore it, and you could be setting yourself up for something dangerous. But the good news is that you can catch it early, and once you know the hidden reasons your legs are getting weaker, you can take simple yet powerful steps to walk with confidence again. Number 7. Muscle loss, sarcopenia. Remember in the introduction when I said your legs might be quietly giving up on you? Well, let me introduce you to one of the most cunning culprits, something doctors call sarcopenia. You've probably heard of osteoporosis, which is the gradual thinning of your bones. But there's another silent thief that is just as dangerous as osteoporosis. And it doesn't target your skeleton. It goes straight for your muscles. Sarcopenia is the slow shrinking of your muscle fibers. And here's the twist. Most people don't know that this is not a retirement age problem. This muscle loss begins in your 30s. At first, you won't notice. You can still carry the laundry upstairs. You can still lift a heavy grocery bag at the supermarket and do gardening while pulling weeds without a second thought. But as time passes, something quiet is happening in the background. Your muscle fibers will get smaller, weaker, and less able to work on your commands. Then, one day after 60, you will find yourself doing something you never used to do. Yeah, using your arms to push yourself out of a chair, or you find yourself tired halfway up the stairs, wondering when climbing steps became a mini workout for you. Here's the hard truth that you never really wanted to hear. Without action, you could lose 25 to 30% of your muscle mass by your 80s. And your legs are the largest muscle group in your entire body, which means they're the first to show it, and when they go, everything else gets harder. Think about weaker legs that force you to walk less with less balance, more fatigue, and a higher risk of falls. And once a fall happens after 60, that can be an end game with a very slow recovery that can change your life thereafter. You might be thinking, what can you do? Let me tell you, the fix is not that complicated, but it does require consistency. First things first is strength training with no exceptions. This doesn't mean you have to join a gym or lift heavy weights. Chair squats, works wall sits, and resistance band presses can do wonders. And don't forget that protein is the best friend of your muscles. Take lean meats, eggs, dairy, nuts, and legumes, which will help you repair and rebuild those fibers. Daily movement, even 10 minutes, will help you keep your muscles with you. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Park your vehicles a little farther from the store entrance. Now this is a pro tip for you and only you, my viewers. Do sit to stands during TV commercials because then you will sneak in dozens of reps a day without even thinking about it. Of course, sarcopenia is sneaky, but not unstoppable. The earlier you start fighting it, the stronger and sharper you will stay well into your 80s and beyond. But here's the thing, sometimes your legs are not weak because your muscles have given up. Sometimes they're weak because they're starving. Not for food, but for blood flow. And that takes us to reason number 6. Number 6, poor circulation, peripheral artery disease. Sometimes your muscles are not the problem at all. They're ready to work, but they might be craving oxygen-rich blood. Have you ever noticed your legs feeling cold or numb after just a short walk? Or maybe you get an ache in your calves that goes the moment you sit down. That's not just getting older. It could be a warning sign of poor circulation, which is called peripheral artery disease, PAD. Here's what happens. Over time, cholesterol and other substances can build up inside your arteries, forming plaque. This plaque will reduce the space for blood to flow like what happens in a sewage pipe. And when the arteries to your legs get narrowed, your muscles won't get the oxygen they need. The result will be too dangerous. Every step becomes harder than it should be. Your legs will fatigue faster and take longer to get back to normal. And in severe cases, PAD can even lead to slow-healing wounds or infections because your blood cannot deliver enough nutrients to repair the damage. Some of the common red flags that hint at PAD are calf pain that eases when you rest or a tingly feeling after standing too long. You might have noticed your legs or feet getting colder than the rest of your body. If that sounds familiar, here's the good news. Circulation can be improved, and it is not through any extreme workouts. You just have to walk daily. Even a walk around your living room will signal your arteries to open up and improve blood flow. And don't forget to stay hydrated. Dehydration will thicken your blood, making it harder for your heart to pump. Try keeping your feet above heart level at least 15 minutes a day, which will help blood return to the heart. Your arteries are like those flexible garden hoses. When you use them often, they stay soft and free-flowing. But let them sit unused, and they will stiffen and clog. Keep it flowing, and your legs will thank you. Yes, poor circulation can drain your strength, but there is another hidden danger that attacks your legs from a different angle. Not through your blood, but through your nerves, which brings us to reason number 5. Number 5, nerve damage, peripheral neuropathy. A glitch in the communication between your brain and your legs can make your retirement life a little too hard. Imagine you are walking barefoot across the living room. Normally, you would feel the softness of the carpet under your toes. But one day, instead of feeling the softness of the carpet, you feel numb. Or maybe you feel an electric shock in your toes for no reason, and that is peripheral neuropathy, a nerve damage that blocks the messages traveling from your legs and feet to your brain. But here is the catch. This damage usually happens slowly, and you don't even realize what you've lost until it affects your balance, because your brain relies on signals from your feet to keep you upright. If those signals are messed up, it's like walking across a room with your eyes closed, and one wrong step, you're on the floor. Now, who is most at risk? People with diabetes can be affected the most because high blood sugar slowly eats away at those nerve fibers. And those with vitamin deficiencies, especially B12, can develop peripheral neuropathy because B12 is essential for your nerve health. Heavy alcohol drinking is a red flag when it comes to peripheral neuropathy because alcohol can destroy the protective coating on nerves. Along with that, people with autoimmune or thyroid issues are at risk because these can inflame or damage nerves over time. As I said, these conditions come slowly, giving you warning signs like tingling or burning sensations in the feet. A kind of numbness that is dangerous because you might not notice cuts, blisters, or injuries. If you ever feel like your feet are not quite yours, then trust me, you are at risk of peripheral neuropathy. Now, what can you do to keep peripheral neuropathy away from you? Start by testing your B12 levels, and if they're low, boost them with eggs, dairy, fish, leafy greens, or supplements with your doctor's guidance. Make efforts to control your blood sugar at steady levels to protect your nerves from further damage. It is your responsibility, rather than your need, to limit alcohol to protect your nerves from damage. Try stimulating your nerves by gentle tapping or massage, or by walking barefoot on safe surfaces to wake up nerve pathways. Think of your nerves like phone lines. If the wires are disrupted, the message gets scrambled right, but the more you keep them active and in use, the stronger and clearer the connection stays. Number 4. Spinal problems, sciatica herniated discs. In Reason 5, we talked about how nerve damage in your legs and feet can scramble the messages to your brain. But here's the twist. Sometimes your leg weakness has nothing to do with the nerves in your legs at all. The real culprit could be much higher up in your spine. Think of your spine as a giant main power line. It carries electrical signals from your brain to the rest of your body. Every single movement, from tapping your toes to climbing stairs, starts as a message traveling down your spinal cord. But what if that cable is a little bit bent or worn out? Then the signal cannot get through properly, and your legs can suddenly feel weak and numb. How could your power line be bent? Conditions like herniated discs, spinal stenosis, or even poor posture can compress the nerve roots that run from your spine down to your legs. The pressure might be so subtle that you don't even feel back pain. You just have leg weakness, numbness, or sudden pain. Now I will tell you a few signs your spine might give to hint at this hidden problem. Intense pain in one leg, commonly known as classic sciatica, can slowly lead to something dangerous. Numbness in your feet or toes, often in a very specific pattern or one leg weaker than the other, even when they look the same, can be a sign of sciatica. Never take those leg weaknesses that change with posture so lightly, because that can be a silent killer in your old days. But trust me, few habits can keep your body safe. like gentle spinal mobility workouts such as knee to chest stretches, seated spinal twists, and cat-cow stretches. This will help you reduce nerve pressure and keep your spine safe. Don't sit for hours in one go. Try standing up every 30 minutes. Move for at least 2 to 3 minutes to relieve compression. You can use lumbar support when sitting for long periods because it will keep your lower back's natural curve intact. It is very important to strengthen your core, that is, your abdominal and back muscles, to keep your spine in good shape. Studies show that people who maintain strong mobile spines into their 70s and 80s have fewer mobility problems than those who only focus on leg exercises. Why? Because the legs can only be as strong as the spinal cord that controls them. And while your spine is a key player, there's another hidden force that can make your legs suddenly weak, and that is the reason number 3. Number 3, electrolyte imbalance, magnesium and potassium deficiency. Even if your muscles and spinal cord are perfect, your muscles still need the right fuel to work. And I'm not talking about protein or carbs, I'm talking about minerals. Those tiny invisible nutrients that make or break how your muscles contract and your nerves fire. You might have heard of magnesium and potassium. Probably you don't know just how quickly a shortage of them can knock you off your feet, make you bedridden. Imagine this. You're sleeping peacefully, dreaming about a beach vacation, when suddenly you feel a pain in your bed with a calf cramp, so painful, like your muscle is being twisted. Let me tell you, it is not just part of getting older. It is your body's way of screaming, "Hey, I'm out of balance." But why are these two minerals so important for your body? Potassium helps your muscles contract smoothly, and without it, your movements will get jerky, weak, and exhausting. And magnesium is like your muscles' off switch. Without enough magnesium, your muscles will stay tense, and the result of it will be cramps. Even a mild deficiency can cause weakness, shaky legs, or sudden muscle fatigue after doing something as simple as walking. And now think about severe deficiencies. They can mess with your heartbeat, your energy, and your balance. Now you might be thinking how these minerals can go low. There are a number of reasons, with diet changes being the most crucial one. As we age, many people eat less fresh produce and more processed foods. And those foods might not have a trace of these minerals. And now come medications like water pills, certain heart drugs, and even some antacids. They can flush potassium or magnesium from your system. Dehydration can also be a reason for their deficiency, because less water means an imbalance in the mineral content, and your muscles can even go 20% less efficient. This might surprise you. Research shows that adults over 60 are far more likely to be low in magnesium, and not because they eat less of it, but because the gut becomes less efficient at absorbing it with age. You could be eating spinach and almonds daily, yet still not get enough into your system. But don't worry, you can restore the balance through a few lifestyle changes. First things first, eat potassium-rich foods like bananas, oranges, spinach, sweet potatoes, and avocados daily. You should boost magnesium naturally by taking almonds, cashews, beans, whole grains, and yes, even a little dark chocolate. Always stay hydrated because water keeps these minerals in circulation. And now comes Epsom salt baths, since magnesium in the salts can be absorbed through your skin and calm your muscles. And here's something many people miss. Leg cramps from mineral imbalances are not just painful. They can also trigger a chain reaction that will put you at a higher risk of falling. So minerals keep your muscles firing correctly, your movement smooth, and your balance steady. So never bet on those big shots. Number 2, joint degeneration, osteoarthritis. In Reason 3, we saw how a shortage of tiny minerals like magnesium and potassium can shut down your muscles in seconds. But there's another problem that moves at a completely different speed, which you might not even notice until it's already changed how you walk, sit, and move through your day. That problem is joint degeneration, better known as osteoarthritis. If electrolyte imbalance is like a sudden electrical shock, osteoarthritis is like slow rust that eats you up slowly but steadily. Over time, the hinges of your knees and hips will lose their smooth glide, making every step feel heavier, stiffer, and require more energy. Cartilage, yes, that cushioning material between your bones, is built to handle millions of steps over a lifetime. But once it starts to wear away, the bones begin to rub together. That friction can cause inflammation, swelling, and pain. And here's the trap. The more it hurts, the less you move. The less you move, the weaker your muscles get, and the more stress gets dumped onto your already painful joints. Just like a vicious cycle, few early warning signs often hide in front of you. You might feel stiffness when you stand after sitting for a while, but it loosens up after a few minutes of moving, and you often don't care about it much. That pain that comes with anything and everything and fades with a gentle activity is your sign to care about your joints. If you notice swelling or warmth around your knees or hips after a long day, then trust me, you are going to have a troubling retirement life. What makes osteoarthritis more alarming is that it does not just affect the elderly. Studies show that cartilage loss can start in your 40s or even late 30s. If you have had sports injuries, repetitive strain, or years of carrying extra weight, then you might be its first victim among others. Research from the CDC shows that 1 in 4 adults over 55 already have some form of knee osteoarthritis, whether they know it or not. But you can slow it down and keep moving like you always did. First, start doing low-impact exercise like swimming, cycling, or walking on flat surfaces, because this will keep your joints lubricated. Make strength training your best friend. It will help absorb shock and reduce bone-on-bone pressure around your knees and hips. Add anti-inflammatory foods like berries, salmon, olive oil, and leafy greens to your daily diet since they can help calm joint swelling. Trust me when I say this, motion is lotion for your joints. Arthritis pain is not always from cartilage damage. A large part of it comes from the inflammation in surrounding tissues, and that means your lifestyle, diet, and daily habits can have just as much impact as your medical treatment, so never take them lightly. Now comes the final reason on our list, something far less obvious and which has nothing to do with muscles, joints, or even blood flow, but can take you down like nothing else. Number 1. Balance system decline, vestibular changes. Some people with perfectly fine muscles and decent joints still struggle to walk steadily. Who will be their villain? It's not in the legs at all. It's in the inner ear. Your inner ear has a component called the vestibular system. It is a tiny but powerful network of fluid-filled canals and sensory hairs. This system constantly tells your brain where your head and body are. They know whether you're tilting, turning, or standing still. It works with your eyes and the nerves in your feet to keep you upright without you even thinking about it. But after the age of 60, these sensory hairs begin to wear out. It's not painful, so you don't notice at first. But slowly, your brain starts getting messed up signals. That's when your body begins to depend more on sight and touch for balance. You will start noticing subtle changes in the beginning. Walking across uneven ground will make you feel more cautious. You will always feel like reaching for a railing, even if you don't need it, and you will get dizzy if you turn your head quickly while walking. And here's a surprising fact. Vestibular decline is so common. According to research from Johns Hopkins, over 35% of adults over 40 have some form of vestibular dysfunction, and that rate spikes with age. To make matters worse, vestibular decline can team up with joint stiffness to make your life even harder. If your knees or hips don't move well, you can't react quickly to small balance losses. And if your balance system is weak, you won't feel confident while moving, which will force you to do less work. Now, what can you do to keep your balance system sharp? The most important step is balance training, where you should stand on one foot while brushing your teeth or walk across the room. Next come vestibular drills. While standing, slowly turn your head left and right, then up and down. Try it while walking in place to challenge your system. Last but not least, stay active because the vestibular system adapts to regular movement, and even when you dance gently or walk, it will keep your system awake. Studies show that older adults who do just 10 minutes of balance and vestibular exercises daily can cut their risk by 40% within 6 months. So while strong legs are important, your ability to stay on your feet is also crucial. So protect it, train it, and your legs will have the confidence to carry you anywhere. So there you have it. 7 hidden reasons your legs might feel weaker, slower, or less steady than they used to. And here's the big takeaway. It is rarely just one thing. Muscle loss, poor circulation, nerve changes, joint wear, mineral shortages, spinal issues, and balance decline can gang up on you. But every single one of these can be improved, no matter your age. Your legs are your freedom. So protect them, train them, and they'll carry you anywhere you want to go for decades. So which of these 7 reasons do you think is already affecting you? Drop your answer in the comments, then pick one tip from this video and start today. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more tips and tricks.